So this week we learned that Bob Chapek put out a company-wide memo at Disney outlining the mission for the next year. And in looking at the subtext, it was a nuclear bomb, according to Disney insiders within the company, because they realized changes are coming. And a lot of changes are coming to every part of the company, and likely at the studios, because he said the customer needs to be listened to. We're going to be hyper-focused on the customer, and that is the way it's going to be. And what I foresee is personnel changes at studios like Lucasfilm. This is what this channel talks about: Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Lucasfilm franchises. So this meme was made by Troy Pacelli. A couple nights ago, Deadline dropped this bomb. Right after we heard about the memo, this happened. Kathleen Kennedy's pet project, The Children of Blood and Bone, had been either sold off by Disney to Paramount or dropped by Disney and picked up by Paramount. And they talk deeper into the article about there was a bidding war, and they talk about a bidding war in the first part of the article. Then they go into the studios that wanted it. Warner Brothers, Universal, blah, blah, blah. And so she's lost another one of her pet projects. And I believe, after the news about Anthony Ingruber going to Indiana Jones, that she's lost Indiana Jones too. That I believe that she's lost any control over Indy 5 with the reshoots coming in because of probably the plot leak that came out concerning Kennedy's fantasy woman, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And they were disgusting. If half of those plot leaks were true, the movie would have devastated the franchise. And the fact that her husband, who is also a producer on Indy 5, stood by, mortifies me. But we don't know what was going on in the scene. I have a feeling behind the scenes, I have a feeling Harrison Ford himself stood up and said, "I'm not fucking doing this. This is not what I bargained for. You're not doing to Indy what you did to Han." Okay, but let's talk about what else the memo says. The memo says we've been fighting our customers, our fans. The fact is, I believe Bob Chapek is an actual fan of Star Wars. I believe he's a fan of Indiana Jones. I think he probably likes Marvel. And when he realized they were wokeifying and ruining the franchises with their garbage, he realized he had to do something about it. Then he discovered Lucasfilm, which we are concentrating on here, was attacking, bullying, trashing fans, and literally going out of their way to hurt people's feelings. The biggest examples of this that I can muster: Pablo Hidalgo's "Emotions are not for sharing" when Star Wars Theory cried over Luke's return in The Mandalorian. And this is where the memo gets hard, because people are going to be losing their jobs. And it's bad for them, but ultimately it's good for Disney, and it's good for Lucasfilm, and it's good for the fans. And I'm going to have some words about fandom too later in a later video, probably live. But here you go.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do.
And we have Matt Martin, who jumped in to take part of part in the attacks on the fans a few times on Twitter. He is not one of my favorite people, and he should be looking over his shoulders, as well as Anna Gutierrez with her fanboy tears mug. She was the one who blithely walked past the Luke Skywalker photo with the red X across his face. These are people working at Lucasfilm who hate Star Wars, who are looking to insert their bullshit and themselves into everything. This is what Bob Chapek has to deal with, and he has to make it stick. And he also has to make sure the fans know that he is doing something about this. Disney is more than the parks. It is more than a lot of things that people just look at Disney. They see the Magic Kingdom and they think that's it. No, Disney is movies. It is streaming. It is the parks. It is Hulu. It is ABC. It is ESPN. The biggest problem Disney has right now, and it's a microcosm, is the studio division not doing what they need to do, and people that work for the studios, especially Lucasfilm, going out of their way to work against the company. And what I foresee in the future is a lot of the people that I named are not going to be at Lucasfilm. I don't see Jon Favreau wanting to deal with Pablo and Dave Filoni wanting to deal with Pablo. I do not see any of those projects like the Stoned Republic getting any traction within TV or video. With Kennedy being defanged, it makes it a lot easier for changes to occur at least Lucasfilm. And if the fans see that, then the fans can have something positive to look at. And it changes the conversation, it changes the narrative. So I predict within the next month, we see changes coming at Lucasfilm, because when I read the memo, I saw Bob Chapek moving at the speed of light in a vacuum, like the Millennium Falcon through hyperspace. Okay, that's what I see. This is going to come hard, this is going to come fast, and people's heads have to be on a swivel. Kennedy's over. Now what do? Give the fans what they want. The fans want good content. The fans want to be respected. The fans want to be heard. And the fans don't want to be ridiculed. The fourth one is the lead off to firings, layoffs, contracts not being extended, people being run off. This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.